This is the year I romanticize fall sewing. And you know, if I'm being honest, I have completely fallen head over heels with fall sewing, and I'm here to share it all with you today. There's just something so exhilarating about the fall season, the nip in the air, the fabrics, the textures of the fabric and the clothing, those richer dark clothes, the heavier weight fabrics. That just adds a little magical touch to the fall season and fall sewing, of course. I recently started doing something different this 2025 year in that I began sewing a season in advance. One, because I am a planner extraordinaire. Two, I have found that this has been one of the busiest years of my life, believe it or not. So if I didn't plan ahead, I did not know when I would get the fall sewing done. So today I am so excited to share with you a variety of pre-fall, that in between season where it may get a little cool in the mornings and the evenings, but the daytime is still warm, but also some traditional fall clothing full of all of the rich colors and textures that, in my opinion, definitely represent the fall. But before I jump into everything, hi and welcome. This is Dine in Creativity. I'm Rachel Ann, and this is my channel fully dedicated to sewing, fashion, and of course, the pursuit of creativity. I hope today's video gives you some inspiration on perhaps some fall garments that you would like to sew up. These all range from fitted to flowy, oversized, cozy garments that you can dress up or dress down. Very much am an advocate of making your clothing work for you and your lifestyle wherever you're at in life. And for me, I need a lot of flexibility. I need pieces that I can dress up with jewelry, makeup, hair, shoes, footwear, but then also dress down because I like to wear the things I sew on an everyday basis. So of course, I'm going to touch on styling ideas, but then again, also some great pattern reviews. I hope you enjoy these looks that are walk out the door worthy, in my opinion. I was all set to walk out the door, but I forgot a very important accessory, a fall handbag. It is a really good thing that teddyblake reached out to me because they offer the most beautiful collection of fall, summer, spring, any kind of handbag that you can desire. All different shapes, sizes, textures, and colors. The variety of dream designs are endless, with a team of Italian designers pitched from well-known luxury brands. teddyblake creates handbag designs for every style choice. Their designers work very hard to develop new, unique designs while also trying to keep the price point to affordable levels. I am here to tell you that the quality of teddyblake bags is high. This is my second bag, the second time I've worked with teddyblake, and neither one of these bags has disappointed, thus the reason why I agreed to work with them again. All teddyblake bags are made with luxury leather, dyed and treated to withstand the test of time and maintain a luxurious look. The craftsmanship of teddyblake bags also is bar none. You know I love a classic and timeless wardrobe, and this absolutely extends to beautiful handbags as well. That's why I chose the 11-inch Dana suede bag in camel, which will surely last me the entire season long through winter. In fact, you're going to be seeing me wear this all throughout this video, just pairing it with different outfits and showing you how much a classic and timeless bag adds to a gorgeous piece that you've sewn up. I am absolutely loving this camel monochromatic look that I have going on from head to toe, all thanks to teddyblake complementing and completing the outfit with this beautiful suede bag. I am so excited to wear this all fall and winter long. Click the link down in my description to visit the website just to see all of the stunning styles that they offer. Let me know which one suits you and that you love the most. And you can also use my code TB Dine in Creativity 30 for $30 off any bag of your choosing. Now onto the fall sewing content for today. Let's start with the first outfit, and that is actually what I'm wearing. You see it in my dress form right here, but I'm actually going to be the mannequin for right now because I'm wearing this baby all day long. This is a Lydia Naomi pattern, ME2031. It's rated average, and I would absolutely agree with that rating. This piece is going to take you a little time, just in the sense that there are so many different pattern pieces, and you're sewing all of these panels together on the front and on the back. Of course, you know, I did my pattern modification just with the little sleeve line right here. I really wanted it to be more of a racer neck kind of top versus the cap sleeved almost look, or the full sleeveless or the sleeved version. And so that's just an alternative thing that you can do to kind of fit your own style and wardrobe. Would I recommend this pattern? 100,000,000%. Just know there's going to be some work involved just to sew all these pattern pieces together. Of course, you know me, this is an extremely thin chambray material, and until I get my serger, which I know, I'm sure people are shaking their heads, but I still haven't gotten one. I'm still obsessed with French seams. I can't help myself. I actually French seamed the entire dress, made the thinnest millimeter size French seams with this one, as you see in the video here. This is the garment where I ran out of thread and realized for the first time, oh my gosh, there's no Joann fabrics to run up to get more supply. So I did use about 3 different thread colors in this dress, if I'm being honest. Great way to combat my recovering perfectionism and just lean into it and enjoy it. And besides no one else, I truly do not think anybody else will notice it. The piece of this pattern that gave me the biggest issue, if I'm being honest, was the collar. For what could have and probably is very easy for sewists to have done these kinds of collars before, really threw me for a loop, okay? But then, almost like an abyss on a desert day, a tall glass of water, I started researching and found that Lydia and Naomi had actually done a sew with me for this dress on YouTube. So I watched that, and it really helped to kind of clarify some things and clear it up for me. But overall, love the pattern. This is one of those great little pieces where I just got done wearing it, went on a trip to the East Coast with my hubby, and as it cools down, I can throw on a chunky oversized sweater, change out my footwear to tennis shoes, or some kind of ballet flat would be super cute. But overall, it has that retro yet modern feel that I am just so crazy about. So this is definitely one that you do put some legwork into it, but I'll have it in my closet for years to come for sure. Meet my newest queen. This beautiful forest green cotton poplin fabric was originally from Joann Fabrics. I am so happy that right before they closed, I went and bought 2 yards initially. You know, they had the 2-yard minimum. I went back and bought an additional 2 yards because I just wanted to live in this dark green color for all eternity. No, I'm just kidding. But I felt hook, line, and sinker for this beautiful color. It has almost a little sheen to it. This was a self-drafted bodice top. Really threw me for a loop, let me be honest. And the skirt was a vintage Vogue basic design, pattern number 1742, with a rating of sugary sweet. It was all sugar to sew up the skirt portion of this queen of a dress, okay? That's what I'm calling her, because I really put in so much time and energy to this garment, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I have a birthday coming up, Scorpio season, and so I just really wanted to have a gorgeous dress for my birthday. However, I also wanted to create something that I could easily dress down with tennis shoes or flats, and then even throw an oversized chunky cardigan on top to make it a very day wear type outfit. And I feel like I achieved it. And something about adding these pockets very much casualized the garment, in my opinion. I did a hook and eye enclosure, a zipper, and then just to add something a little fun, I lined it with this really pretty vintage bed sheet. I just thought it added a little something, you know, when you open up the garment, it just looks so pretty. I'm shaking my head at myself for this, but this is the life of being a recovering perfectionist. So I French seamed the entire inside of the dress. So you will not find any raw edges in here. And then what I did is top stitch down the French seam on the outside, which the instructions for the skirt pattern told me to top stitch down that dropped waist portion of the dress. Let me show that to you. And so it kind of ended up working out because I have such an incredibly short torso. This huge triangle piece here really hit me right where I wanted to. Now, did I have to sew and then pick out all those seams not once but twice to get the top exactly the way I wanted it to be? Yes, I did. But that was so worth it to me to be able to fully enjoy this finished product and wear it with a sense of pride and just feel good in it. I love sewing up those really ornate dresses. If I had all the time in the world, I would just create dress after dress and spend my 16 or 20 hours on them. It's not realistic for me if I want to sew up my entire wardrobe. So for now, I love doing a dress at a time that just brings me joy, just makes me really happy. So sharing all this with you for some inspiration. Draft those bodices, maybe modify patterns if they're not working for you. I truly could not think of an already intact bust pattern that would have worked for this skirt. And in my mind, you saw my sketch of it, all I could think was a beautiful scoop neck tank dress that I could add the cardigan if I wanted to and things of that nature. So here she is. Who doesn't need tops for pre-fall / fall season? I certainly always do. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love to sew up tons and tons of dresses. And so when I came across the Simplicity, no, I'm sorry, this is McCall's 8530 pattern, I knew it was one for me. This one is rated average. It is a slim fitting top. So if you typically like a looser top, then I would absolutely potentially recommend that you size up one. For my next rendition of this top, if I were to work with a fabric that didn't have any stretch, I would need to size up because this little baby is slim. I can't even imagine if I had made it with silky non-stretch fabric. You know, when I measured the pattern pieces and went by my sizing, the finished garment measurements, and it's slim. As you can see me modeling it, it's slim to the body. So just word for the wise, if you're gonna sew this one up and you don't really like a tight shirt, or you're on the cusp of maybe being a size bigger, I would almost encourage you, size on up. If you've sewn this one before, did you also have that experience? In terms of the sewing of this one, sweet as pie, sugar all the way. It was so seamless, no pun intended. I mean, there were a lot of seams to it, but it was very straightforward to sew with. I found the pattern instructions to be really clear, and I happen to have this burgundy ribbon that just perfectly matched this kind of cotton sateen I had gotten from Joann's a while back. So I just added that right here at the bust. I added a little triangle here because it went down really low, but that's optional. You don't have to add the triangle. I just know I want to wear this for work. I want to wear this anytime, and if the cleavage is out, I'm not going to want to wear it to certain places, and I like to have that flexibility in my wardrobe right now. So alas, that's what I did. There is a little invisible side zip that you are to install per the direction. This was funny fabric. Don't ask me why. I went into Joann's to the closing sale. This one wasn't even on sale yet, and there was something in me, I had to have it. It was the most random thing, and I brought it home, and about a week or two after that, I thought, what was I thinking? But you know, now that I sewed it up, I love it. I feel like this is definitely a top I can have for a while. Overall, super cute pattern. I cannot wait. I had a couple people recommend Hobby Lobby as a great resource for getting velvet stretch knit fabric. How beautiful would this be in a deep forest green or a black stretch velvet knit? So that's kind of on my list at some point in the future. This is absolutely just going to be my pre-fall and fall of comfy, oversized button-down tops. I can just feel it. And so I had to kick things off with this little beauty right here. This fabric was also initially from Joann's. It almost has a faux suede look, but it is not faux suede. It's a brushed woven of some sorts. This is a Naomi Beaute J'adore ME2052 oversized button-down pattern. Loved it. It is rated average, and I couldn't agree more. Out of all the sewing I've done, I have never sewn a traditional button-down shirt. As I said, this pattern is rated average. I would rate it sweet and spicy, okay? Very sweet in that all of the other pieces come together like a dream. The fit is glorious. I did size down a size with this one. Make sure you measure the pattern pieces, look at the finished garment measurements. As much as I love an oversized top, if it's too big, then it just goes down to my knees on me because I'm a shorter gal. So just putting that out there, you may want to size down too. This is where things went haywire. I was really beat myself up about it after I got the top done. I'm just sharing this with you to normalize. We all make mistakes, even if you are a great sewist. I have no doubt. You also may sew a sleeve on wrong. You get tired, you lose focus, insert whatever. This is one of those times where you gotta let go and live on. And so that's what I'm doing. I learned so much from the mistakes I made with the cuffs. When I have the shirt on, you really cannot notice. Is it gonna prevent me from wearing the shirt? Not at all, but just I know that I made those mistakes. For me, that's where the instructions kind of got a little wonky in terms of how to clearly depict the next step. I'm not blaming the instructions. I think it was also my lack of experience. And then also I think about, sometimes explaining sewing and the instructions that go with it. It is difficult to do. So certainly there were some mishaps with that, but I got a lot of good experience putting my buttonholes in. So that was a positive. And found these cute little buttons on Amazon. I think I linked those in my Amazon store. I did make the collar a hair larger, just trying something new. I wanted a big oversized collar. So I'm ready for pre-fall with this one. Now I just need the weather to cool down a couple of degrees. I can break this thing out. So would I recommend this pattern? Absolutely. Absolutely. Just know it may be, if you've never done a button-down shirt, it may be worth your while to sew up a toile with a bed sheet or something like that so that you don't mess up your good fabric. This next pattern was all sugar all the way. So much fun to sew, extremely beginner friendly, and the pattern is McCall's 7976. Of course, I can't help but attribute the ease of sewing this with this beautiful kind of sweater type knit material. This was actually a 9 West huge scarf, but to me it felt like a sweater. It really did. And so why not make almost a mix between a sweater and a shirt, a cardigan and a shirt? Now, please bear with me. You will see me modeling this piece. The last thing I need to do is sew the buttons on, which I plan to do as I'm relaxing this evening, watching some TV. But for the sake of getting this video out and kind of keeping myself on my schedule, I wanted to go ahead and at least show you this piece. This one is rated easy, 100%. I could not agree more. As you can see, I lengthened the sleeves. The other little fun detail I wanted to show you, fun to me at least. Now, you know I have a thing about raw edges. Well, this is me completely embracing raw edges and just doing a funky little design here on the edges where I had started to French seam this sweater material, which I did throughout the interior of the sweater itself. because this fabric was so fragile that it was one of those ones where I like to say if I looked at it or breathed the wrong way, the sweater, it just started unraveling. So I did lightly French seam it, and it makes it feel a lot more secure. But as I was going in for the French seam, I thought, you know what? Let me just leave these raw edges, and I'm just going to top stitch either side just to try to add some security. If I notice that when I wash it, it really starts to deteriorate, I could just add a thin piece of bias tape down the middle. I'm going to show you, I had scraps left. I had to get really creative with the sleeves here. I mean, you guys saw that was the remainder of using that scarf and upcycling it into something that I just love. It's so cozy and it feels great, but I had to just sew these random little panels here on the sleeve just to make the sleeve long enough. I had, I think to myself sometimes, why do I make it harder on myself? But that's, to me, part of creating the wardrobe that you love to wear. Sometimes you gotta take it a step further and do these little added things that even, you shake your head at yourself sometimes and think, gosh, it'd be so much easier just to leave it short sleeved. This was where the original sleeve was supposed to be. When I tried it on, this material is meant to be a cardigan. So instead I made not quite a 3/4 sleeve, but a little bit shorter than the standard sleeve. Finished that with bias tape just to keep it really secure. So if you used a silky material, this would be the most beautiful blouse. It's just so figure flattering for so many different body types, in the sense that it's not skin tight, it's loose. You can pair it with a multitude of different bottoms, from skirts, pencil skirts, to bell-bottom jeans, to work trousers. I mean, you could make this really in so many different fabrics, and I think it would work out great. So again, this is McCall's 7976 pattern, rated easy. So there you have it, my 9 West thrifted massive, it was like a body scarf morphed into a cute cardigan shirt that I cannot wait to wear this fall, this pre-fall even. This would even be cute over this little dress I'm wearing. Let me know if you've ever sewn that pattern and what you think of it, and if you love it as much as I do. This next one, I'm gonna say I'm proud of it. This is one fully designed myself, completely self-drafted, no patterns, and I couldn't be happier with how it has turned out. It gives me the exact feeling I hoped it would, and that is a feeling of ease, a feeling of throwing it on and instantly feeling like I was ready to head out the door. I love it with tennis shoes, flat sandals, a little baby heel sandal, and as the temps change, it is going to be so cute with a little cardigan on top. I can definitely squeeze this some more wear out of it as these temps change, just by throwing the cardigan on and changing up the footwear. I'd probably do some cute tennis shoes at that point, some loafers, something of that nature. These are the kind of pieces I love, that I always looked for in stores, and sometimes you could find them, but I just like the ease. I just want to put it on, have all these little added details. Some days you may want to wear it tighter, other days you may want to loosen it up. So I wanted that capability when I made this dress, and so I just created these extra long ties. Very much feels so 90s-ish to me, and I love that. 90s classic style, like prepster in a way. But yeah, this little baby has gotten a lot of wear. It will continue to get wear out of it. You will probably no longer see this teal fabric ever grace my channel. I had purchased so much from Piñata's, one of the fabric stores that I like to drive to in Southern California, and I had purchased so much of it. I have made so many different tops and outfits from this teal linen. It has served its purpose, and it's served it well, but now it's officially time to retire it. I'm really happy with it. You can't go wrong with linen. Linen always serves the purpose it needs to. Effortless, easy, beautiful, light, flowy. And I just want to share this too so that it can maybe even inspire you watching to design and sew up a piece of your own. See how it goes if you're so inclined to. There's nothing wrong with using patterns either. I love them both. I love it all. But for people who maybe can't always find the specific pattern that they want to fit the vision in your head, it's such a great opportunity being able to sew, to branch out. And then, you know, I've mentioned it before, my main goal, I really just want to end up designing everything I wear at some point and sewing it up. It'll be a while before that happens. The fitting for it, I've noticed, because I'm so new into that, can be added steps as well. Still so fun nonetheless. You create something that you're proud of, and there you have it. Okay, the dress form is back in full use right now. I'm going to show you Simplicity 9749. It's rated average, although I would say it kind of errs on the side of easy in my humble opinion. I've sewn this up a couple different times. This may have been my third or fourth rendition, but I love the pattern so much. I wanted to create more of a fall version, so I just used this lightweight fabric. This was a remnant that I think I also found at Pinata's fabric store. It's probably a poly blend of some sort. Just this really great lightweight silky material that truly, I love a versatile piece to add to your closet. And for me, Simplicity 9749 is that. The pattern, since we're going with the sugar spice theme, I know I can't, but once I start a theme, I got to go with it. So I would say the pattern is sugar. It's all sugar. This is one, I've talked about this before. The only spicy part is when you go to attach these sleeves on. It may feel weird because it feels very counterintuitive, or it did to me when I was sewing it up, compared to inserting sleeves in other garments. Trust the process, do what the directions say, and it should come out looking like this. So you've seen me style it in kind of a fall type version. I have this great faux leather skirt I've had for years. Love that dark green color, but then you can just as easily put this with a cute pair of dark jeans or jeans of any kind with the appropriate fall, pre-fall footwear, and you've got an easily transitional piece for the fall months, for the pre-fall months and fall months. This could even be end of summer with a long maxi skirt, which is how I originally had styled it. So a lot of different options when it comes to Simplicity 9749. You insert the elastic pieces here, elastic around the bottom, and there you have it. So if you're like me and you're always looking for just a cute top that's easy, it's like a good afternoon sew for the early fall and fall months, this would be a great little project, great little pattern to work with. Thank you so much for watching my pre-fall collection. I hope this gave you some great ideas for pre-fall or fall sewing, but also styling, because I feel like styling the items that you sew up to really fit who you are, what you want to put on your body, and especially how you want to feel on a day-to-day basis is so important, almost as important as the sewing that itself. So it's been so much fun for me to kind of put together these looks for the fall. I actually started sewing a season in advance because I noticed that every season I've got other stuff going on, whether it's life or career or insert whatever. And I noticed that if I go ahead and start sewing for the next season several months in advance, I can just enjoy those pieces. So I feel like I am done with this pre-fall in-between sewing, and then now I'm starting my legitimate winter sewing project. So have you ever tried that? Sewing up a season in advance? Or are you a sew as you go kind of person? It's just always meeting yourself with where you're at, with your time, mental capacity. You know, if you got a lot going on, sewing may go out the window. And for me, if I don't plan ahead, so much of sewing is so much planning. if I don't plan ahead, I can just see myself not having the attire that I want to have, because I'm truly at the point where I purchase a couple pieces here and there that are very classic and high quality, but I also love to sew my garments because then you can really cater them to your needs and your style and the fit. Which, speaking of, I do have a very fun video coming up in the near future for all of my fellow fashion enthusiasts who also love classic, timeless, and high quality pieces. Take mental note of that. It will be coming soon. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much again, teddyblake, for this stunning suede bag. You can also click the link below to get the discount code if you too are in the market for a lovely bag this fall or winter season, or maybe Santa wants to know what's on your Christmas list. As always, appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you're taking great care of yourself. Happy sewing and creating, and be well.